Good morning, everyone. It's Libby from Sth Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people, and I'd love to welcome you, your spirit guides, and my guides along with us today. Wow, what an exciting day. And as you can tell, winter has returned yet again. We seem to be going winter, summer, but the garden is absolutely flourishing, and that's all that matters. So welcome. I just wanted to I was having a little chuckle when I was setting up this morning because I had been watching some of the my favourite US readers this morning, and they always look so gorgeous. They always look so well presented. Whereas us Aussies down under here, we tend to look a bit. What you see is what you get. We're rather casual in this neck of the woods. So what is there to look at today? Well, bit of gossip. Elon Musk apparently has written a letter to Twitter agreeing to the original price that the original arrangement from however long ago. So I read on that forever ago. I saw at the time that he was going to try and get out, but he wouldn't be able to, and that the deal was going to go through, and it wasn't really going to be much of a drama for Twitter at all. So nice to see things coming to fruition. One of my fabulous viewers pointed out that the Ukrainian intelligence minister has acknowledged that he knows that Putin has at least 3 body doubles that he's using, if not more. So again, every time I've seen him on the media, my brain is just screaming at me, body double. So that's nice to have that verified as well. What else have we got? Oh, Crimea. Apparently the 2022 beauty queen Crimea, Olga Valayeva, plus a friend were fined and jailed. She was fined, the friend was jailed for singing a Ukrainian song. So they're a little bit sensitive over in Crimea at the moment. I have read on Crimea in the past, and I have read that Crimea and Belarus will both become independent sovereign countries with the the acknowledged passing of Putin. Once this current autocratic dictatorship, whatever you like to call it, is dismantled, those 2 countries will revert back to independence, which I'm so looking forward to. And there is a lot of reports of people fleeing the Russian-claimed referendum areas into Ukraine. They're not going into Russia, they're fleeing into Ukraine. They don't want to be part of it. So what are we going to look at today? I woke up with 2 notes and ended up with a dozen on here. Herschel Walker. I'm going to have a quick look at him because he's such an idiot. Sorry, did I say that? Entertainment only. I have read that he's not going to win the governorship, but boy, what a position he's put him and his family through. An ex-girlfriend or ex-partner has come out with documentation showing that he paid for her to have an abortion while he's running on this very severe anti-abortion platform, not even allowing abortion for rape, incest, or the health of the mother. So just there's not much more you can say about this goose, but I just want to ask whether it's true. So we'll just go to pendulum first, and then I'll have a look at the cards. And while I've got those cards out, because I'm using my Trip and Wait tarot, I'll have a look at Trump as well and what his latest is. Okay. Morning, tarot. Morning, guys. May I ask a question, please? Was telling me yes before I even asked the question. Did Herschel Walker pay for an abortion? Has he paid? May I ask a question? Back to reset. Has he paid for more than one abortion? It's a little yes. I think he's telling me it's none of my business, which it really isn't. But yeah, he did. He paid for the abortion that the after all that shuffling I'd done previously at the base of the pack. So let's just see how he's going to go. So yes, he had... the hypocrisy in that party is just mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. And did you see that? I finally saw it today, the tweet on, or whatever you call it, on Trump's Truth Social, attacking Mitch McConnell. Just, what a nasty piece of work he is. What a, just a petty schoolyard wannabe bully. Anyhow, well, if you haven't seen it, go and have a look. It's just pathetically despicable is the word that springs to mind, but I'm just sort of thinking as in just so childish. Anyhow, Herschel Walker. Tell me about Herschel Walker. Herschel. Was so excited this morning. I finally made it to the last 5 minutes of Denise, and I've gone completely blank. Denise from Spiritual Growth Tarot, her live. So I was very excited because we've started daylight savings and I usually miss it by a couple of hours. Anyhow, tell me about Herschel Walker. Tell me about Herschel Walker. Tell me about Herschel Walker. Thank you. King of Wands. So we've got the lawmakers, crossed by Knight of Pentacles, mercenary actions. Not the slow, steady knight moving forward diligently and loyally, but mercenary actions. And that's what he's basically doing. He's saying whatever he thinks he can get away with, that will get him elected. And he doesn't. He's got no care whatsoever. King of Swords, the truth is coming out. And he may actually end up being investigated. I don't know what for yet. I haven't really looked into what mischief he's been getting up to. His son's come out and absolutely lambasted him for being a terrible father and a liar and a cheat and all the rest of it. So that was quite interesting. In the past, a plan coming to fruition. So, and also looking overseas. I wonder if he's getting something from overseas, and that's why this King of Pentacles is here. But I think it's more the fact that he's watching his ship sail into harbour, but this is in the past. So it's not happening now. Okay, we've got, again, so that was the lawmakers. That was his attempt at running at office, crossed by his mercenary actions. The sword of truth is coming forward. So he's being exposed is what I'm getting. Thank you, Meister. He's being exposed. And here we have the government legal systems. Pardon me. This fluctuation in weather. The systems coming into effect over him. Okay, let's see where it leads us. Immediate future Knight of Cups. The false knight, as called by Lena Rodriguez, coming forward with an offer. Externally, investigation. Internally, dark money. Oh, well, that's not where I expect it to go. Okay, let's keep going. Hopes and fears, a harsh truth coming forward about lying and cheating. Wow, okay. And karma's going to come and bite him on the backside. This is the Wheel of Fortune. 1 minute you're up, the next minute you're down. I wonder how many of these people regret actually thinking about running for politics, because he was a respected football player, apparently, hated by his family from the sounds of it, allegedly entertainment only. But now in the eyes of everybody, he's been shown to be a liar. His karma is turning. Can be smug merchant, also wish fulfillment. Oh, careful what you wish for. Thank you, Narine. They're both here today letting me know. Careful what you wish for, because it's just ended up in this big dog fight. Okay, intergenerational money, independence, and the family. So he's ended up in this, careful what you wish for, he's ended up in this big dogfight with his family. He's lost a lot of money in regards to, this is what I'm being told, and he's lost his respectable independence. Okay, wounded in battle. Things will be returning to a moderation. This is just exposing the extremes, so it is about a return to moderation. You've got the emotional and the physical here. Rebalancing the cups. And he's, at the moment, he's reaping what he sows. Okay. So it's not, I have read on Herschel Walker as to whether he's going to win or not. I'm not seeing it happening, but that's a little bit of a story about what's going to happen to him shortly. And investigation for dark money. Didn't see that coming. Okay, while I have the cards out, investigation for dark money, and it very much to be careful what you wish for, because it'll bite you on the backside if you're not asking from your heart, if you're asking from a place of greed or a place of manipulation or any of those toxic elements. It can be quite nasty when it actually arrives for you. Okay, Trump. Okay, reported this morning that he has pleaded with the SCOTUS, who he thinks are his in his pocket, to intervene in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents. So he's asking the SCOTUS to insert themselves into the 11th Circuit ruling that the 11th Circuit ruling was that the special master that Trump's legal team chose can hang on to the classified documents, and in other words, not let the DOJ have them. Well, I thought, now I'm an Australian, I'm in a different country, so I just want to ask if anybody knows. I thought the SCOTUS was only there to rule on constitutional matters, not petty criminals being held to account by the DOJ. So let's see how that goes. I can't see it working for them. I read yesterday on the CNN debacle as well. That's not going to go well for him either. This is where he is at the moment. Even his truths are melting around him, and I think he's realised that what he has spouted is just dissolving in his very nightmares. CNN, on the CNN thing. Okay, just very quickly, he's suing them for claiming, just calling him a fascist and a Russian plant, basically. Words along those lines, that's not verbatim. However, he's also harangued at CNN as well, calling them fake news and even worse than that. So I did read yesterday, it's not going to, was it yesterday or the day before? One of the two. It's not going to work out for him. Anyhow, must have been the day before. Okay, tell me about Trump going to the SCOTUS. Trump going to the SCOTUS, how's that going to work for him? Well, these two cards refuse to go back in, and they really say the whole story, so come on down and we'll keep going. It is literally just foolish. He's hoping to break a cycle and bring forth a new start, but it's foolishness, and at the moment he is reaping what he sows. So that's basically the whole story in a nutshell. Justice, do I even have to explain these cards? Okay, in regards to the SCOTUS, nothing. It's going to be a downfall for him. It's going to happen very quickly. I think they're going to push back very quickly, and then they're going to close ranks. They're going to close ranks around him. Here we have celebration circles of support. The magician, this is the base of the pack, the magician, which is manifesting possibilities like everything is at your disposal, and then walking away. So what I'm getting here, getting a very strong vibe in regards to these three cards, is that the SCOTUS is going to close ranks on Trump. He's irrelevant, has been. They're going to literally, this is again a closing ranks, circles of support for themselves. They have what they want. They have everything they want at their disposal, and they're walking away from them. I have read in the past, I should do it again actually, I might note that down for tomorrow, that there will be a couple more SCOTUS judges. When I say a couple more, there hasn't been any the Democrat one went and was replaced by Brown Jackson. That's right, memory like a sieve. But I have read that there's at least 2 more going by mid next year. But I'll read on that tomorrow, so stay posted. So that's Trump. It's not going to work for him. Sorry, mate. Okay, what next? The UK. Let's go to the UK. So Liz Truss. So I read on it the other day that things are going to be tough, but it's going to be okay. Look after your community. I believe, this is me glimpsing things, and they're just jumping out at me. I believe in the UK they have abandoned the tax cuts that I talked about, I think it was last week, where they were going to remove the top tax level, so therefore all those who earned over so much paid less tax because they didn't have that level put in there. And it basically meant the multi-millionaires, billionaires got a tax cut. Well, thank goodness common sense prevailed, and their government decided not to go ahead with those tax cuts. So what has happened is that Australia has something similar coming through. I believe it's next week in the budget, the October budget. So I'll have a look to see how that's going to go as well, because it was the previous government about 3 years ago promised rolling tax cuts to go through, and the last one was due to take effect later this year, where it was again the very, very top were going to get thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars a year relief. So I'll just see whether that's actually going to go through. I'll have a look at pendulum, then I'll draw some cards on it. However, we've got a new government. Yay! We got that new government in May, which is now a progressive social government, socially minded government. They were initially saying that they were going to honour the tax cuts because their view was that it's not fair on the people for, if you get a new government, just to can everything that the previous government was bringing forward. They didn't want to set a precedence. However, the Treasurer yesterday came out and said something along the lines of sorry, I'm still yapping. What happened in the UK is setting a precedent, setting an example. I can't remember his exact words again, but he was hinting very broadly that our government wasn't going to go through with them in this budget. So let's have a look. I mean, more money's always nice, but okay. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Will the Australian Labor government can the tax cuts for October? Will the Australian government can? Oh, I'm getting a no. That's not what I expected. I might word it differently. May I ask a question? Ask a question. Are the rolling tax cuts brought in by the Liberal National Government going to be honoured by Labor? Oh, I didn't expect that. That's a yes. Oh, I'm actually disappointed. I'm a bit disappointed in regards to that. Okay, let's have a look then. Different cards then. I was going to use my political cards, but I won't. I'll use my money cards. Okay. Just a heads up, please, guys, on the exciting world of Australian budget. What's come? What can we anticipate? We had another interest rate rise. So what is it? 5 months and 5 interest rate rises. Yesterday, only 2.5%, but wow. You know, if you're hurting, you're hurting. Okay, tell me about the Australian budget coming out next week. Australia. Does anyone feel like it's as exciting as watching glue dry? The Australian budget, paint dry, grass grow. The Australian budget next week. Okay, interesting. The budget is going to be all about families. Even though this is not my family card, it's going to be about protecting those hard-working Australians, those protecting the security. Okay, let's have a quick look. Protecting those who are bringing in the harvest and working hard. Okay, sorry about the glare on that. It's an absolute miserable day outside, but that is a big window there. Ooh. Not sure what to make of that. Challenged by lies? Betrayals? Let's see where this goes. Justice at the base. Actions, consequences, but rebalancing the scales. Okay, this is going to be something to do with what happened with what policies were brought in by the government before. So, okay, I've got that they were going to honour the tax cuts proposed or legislated, I should say, by the Liberal National Party, but there is something that is going to feel like it's been stolen. I don't know quite what it's going to be, whether those tax cuts are adjusted or whether there's a new tax implemented. Don't know. We'll see where it leads us, because it is all about rebalancing the scales in fairness and equity and justice for all. In the past, yeah, there's squibbling going on. Our politics, I mean, we're pretty subdued compared to the US, but oh gee, you know, the fighting that's going on in the background from the party that lost, they don't appear to have learnt. But this is in the background. This was the fighting over what was going to go ahead in this budget. This was okay, thank you. This is inflation, this is COVID, this is pay not going up. This is all issues that are affecting people personally. And they feel like they've been slighted personally, but it is in the past. So let's see where this goes, because I am talking about the budget. There is a plan that they are creating. It is a global plan, bringing forth a new plan. Okay. That will relate on the global scale. So they're bringing forth something new. I mean, we had a review, gosh, I can't remember how many years ago, 8 years ago, something like that, a review into the tax system in Australia by an independent, very highly qualified body. And I don't think one of those recommendations were implemented, and it basically meant we need to overhaul our entire tax system to make it fairer and to allow the government to have enough money to do what they need to do. It might have even been more than... the guy's name is on the tip of my tongue and I can't think it, the guy who actually led it. But yeah, it was just a complete overhaul of the system. And I think what's happening here is they're going to bring forth a new plan to implement a new system. Not necessarily a tax system, but there is a new plan to set Australia up on the global scale. It is all about immediate future. It is all about domestic wealth, domestic security, practicality, but compassion as well. So that's the immediate future, and the budget's coming up next week, so that would explain that. Externally, this is always externally when it comes to the budget. Everybody wants their piece of pie. Everybody wants to come out benefiting. Internally, it's actually going to be a really good budget. I don't know why I'm reading on such a boring topic, I do apologise. But internally for the country, for Australia, for the government, it is going to be a very fair and balanced budget that brings this star of hope forward. It is a time of change. It is a time of turning this wheel and changing from what is just change happening. Doors closing, doors opening. What's at the bottom becomes at the top. What's at the top comes at the bottom. Doesn't mean anyone's going to particularly downfall or anything like that, but it is very much, it is a budget of signalling change. Okay, illumination and investigation. It's not going to be an easy path forward, but it is having a light shone on it. I'm liking this government even more and more. It is something to do with... Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to squirrel this for a second, this card, because I just got told what this card is meaning, because it's my dark money, mobster sort of card, where you've got one person doing all the work and the other two sitting back telling them what to do and reaping all the reward for it. I wonder if what our Treasurer Chalmers said was in relation to the US bringing forward a basic tax for businesses, like a flat tax for corporations over a certain size and for billionaires or, the very wealthy, etc. So they're not paying their 4.2% tax because they can employ the best loophole accountants and hide all their funds overseas. This is what this card, when I put it down and I thought, and I went, oh, what's that there for? That's what I was told, is that it is about stopping the loopholes, and it is about so it's basically, if the money's earned in Australia, you pay the tax in Australia. At the moment, you've got companies like Apple and Google and these big worldwide companies, Facebook, that are making an absolute killing in Australia, on Australian terms, probably on a global terms, we're not that big, but on Australian terms, they're making billions, hundreds of millions. And yet they pay not a cent in tax because they take it all offshore. So I'm getting now, I hope I'm right, we shall see, but what I'm getting is that this plan implementation and illumination is actually in relation to preventing, if it's earned in Australia, you pay tax in Australia, basically. Oh, and there's the fruition of that plan, now that I've said all that, and the sword of truth coming forward. Sword of truth and the government. Bringing truth back into government as well. Wow, okay, liking this. Wasn't completely not what I expected. Going back to simpler times a simpler way of doing things. They're working hard behind the scenes. It's about giving and receiving help, but giving help to those who need it rather than tax breaks for, so they can buy another Learjet. There is a hidden agenda that's not going to fully be revealed at this budget. They are working together on it at the moment. We've got the lawmakers. We have something really unexpected out of left field, and it's going to happen, come forward very quickly, which is saying to me the fact that it's not all going to be revealed. It's going to come forward very quickly, but that's what I'm really getting a pull to. I might just ask Pendulum on that. Oh, the Australian budget, who could get excited about that? Well, I am, because it's something that I was really not expecting. So let's see what Pendulum has to say. Just to clarify. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? May I ask a question? Is the government looking at a earn it in Australia, pay tax in Australia? Is the government looking at earn it in Australia, pay tax in Australia? And I'm getting a yes for that. Getting a yes. Okay, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Will this set a precedence for the US to do the same? And that's a yes as well. So Australia's actually going to be the precedent setter for this. I'm excited. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, what I want to have a look at next. Okay, there was an explosion at a South Korea airbase that's near the North Korea border. Occurred on Monday their time. So I suppose that's pretty much nearly Monday our time. It is rumoured to be, well, it's not, the information coming out is that it is accidental. I'll just have a quick ask on that, considering North Korea's been sending off ballistic missiles, and governments don't always let us know what's actually happening. Okay. Thank you. Was this explosion at the South Korea Airbase, Gangneung? I'm sure I've pronounced that wrong. I haven't asked the question. Come on. Was the explosion at the South Korea Airbase accidental? Was it accidental? Which is what the report's coming out. Allegedly, entertainment only, and I'm getting a no. Ask a question, please. Ask a question. Was this explosion a terrorist act? Was it a terrorist act? And that's a yes. Ask a question, please. Was it backed by North Korea? Was it backed by North Korea? No. Ask a question, please. Nope, he's told me no more questions. Okay. China? Russia? Something to distract the US? I don't know. Okay. We'll watch that one with interest. I'm not quite sure where to take that. Might read some cards on it. Gilded Tarot Royale. So we've used today my Trip and Wait Tarot, my Golden Universal Tarot, and I'll use my Gilded Tarot Royale. Tell me about, that's actually got me a bit concerned now. I thought it would be, yeah, it was an accident, because that's what it's been reported as by the South Korean government. Tell me about this explosion, entertainment only, at the South Korean airbase near the North Korean border. Tell me about it. So it wasn't North Korea. It wasn't North Korea. I have my suspicions. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. This explosion at the airbase in South Korea. Wheel of Fortune. Fate, destiny, karma. Let's see where this goes. King of Pentacles. Loss, disappointment, strength. Magician. 3 major arcana, telling me to take notice. We've got the through line of times are changing, loss and disappointment. 4 major arcana. 4 major arcana. Take notice. The truth will come out. Who was this? Who was this? Who is this King of Pentacles? So this is a patriarchal card, and it's all about money. Okay. Let's have a quick look. Ask a question, please. Ask a question, please. Was this explosion in South Korea backed by China? Backed by China? Was it backed by China? And that's a yes. May I ask a question, please? Was it for a financial economy reason? Was it for a financial economy reason? And I'm getting a yes again. Okay, was it meant to disrupt the United States support? It's a no. Ask a question. Ask a question. Was it to do anything to do with the United States? Yes. Wasn't Kamala Harris there not that long ago? It's still saying yes at me. Okay, I think I could try guessing until the cows come home. It's one of those things I could ask pendulum all day long. But I think what it is that China is... This was an allegedly entertainment only, potentially an act backed by this patriarchal government to turn this wheel of fortune because of current loss, financial loss, emotional loss. But it's not going to work. We've got the Strength, we've got the Magician, we've got the Sun, and then we have the Truth coming out. So I think it might have, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. As I said, I could speculate till the cows come home on that particular one, and we may not get any closer to what it actually was. But what I'm getting is, no, it was not an accident. No, it wasn't from North Korea. It was actually something perhaps instigated by China to do with their economic situation at the moment. Okay, interesting. Right, so tomorrow I'm going to have a look at Somalia tomorrow. They've got their worst drought in 40 years, so heart absolutely goes out to them. If you remember the horrific late 70s, early 80s, and that's when they had the Band-Aid concerts, etc. Yes, I'm that old that I remember them. But yeah, I want to have a look at Somalia with its drought. And as I said, I will have another look at can't even remember it. I'll have to watch my video again and find out what I said I was going to look at. Okay. Take care, everybody. It's just when I'm in the zone, if it's not coming to me, it cannot enter my mind. There's just not enough room in there for it all. But yeah, I'll have a look on what I said I was going to have a look on, and I shall catch you tomorrow. So take care. Love to you all. Look after yourselves and have an ultra special day. Bye-bye.